State Attorney General in question, Bill McCollum. Attorney General, I guess you were a skunk at the picnic, not invited. What happened?
Well, it was rather strange not to be invited, and I think it's indicative of the selectivity of the president and his team about where they're putting their focus. Florida has the largest coastline of any continental state in the union. We are the one that's going to be impacted right away. It looks like Pensacola is coming up, and it's very close now, the oil spill to the coast, and we don't have the assets postured where they should be. We don't have the control and command where decision-making is in counties like Escambia, where Pensacola is, as opposed to in Mobile for some of this, and we don't have the kind of response that you'd expect after several weeks of looking at this, where some of the new engineering and new ideas that could be applied have been even tried to be piloted.
But General, I mean, it's a pretty big,
rightfully upset by that.
It's a pretty big oversight here, and I tried to understand for the life of me why you would be excluded. We got this from the Justice Department, and I just want to quote here: "This trip is the first in a series of meetings we will be holding. We held this meeting with officials from states most immediately affected, and recognizing the risk to Florida, we've reached out to the Attorney General to schedule subsequent meetings." Have they, and what's being planned?
Well, there is a planned meeting. I think it could occur as early as tomorrow, but I'm anticipating probably for all of our scheduling maybe next week. And I'm happy to meet with Attorney General Holder and his team. It is important for the state to participate. But I don't think it's just about the question of going after BP. We're doing that right now. My office, as Attorney General of Florida, is holding BP's feet to the fire. We certainly want to participate with any federal effort, but I'm more concerned that this oversight is symptomatic, as I mentioned a moment ago, of the general absence of the president's team from considering Florida when they are looking at Louisiana, and Alabama, Mississippi.
You're right about that. I mean, there are only so many states in the Gulf. I mean, Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, I mean, Alabama, and then end of story here. So I'm wondering, for you to be left out, it's certainly no stranger to disasters. That is your state, does seem to be quite noticeable.
Well, it's very noticeable, and it's something that I just was very shocked and surprised to learn about the way we did when our press people picked up on it when some notice was sent in the media about it, and we were not invited. So I'm not going to keep harping on that. I'm just very concerned that going forward we have a good relationship. This should in no way be partisan. It's not political. The people of Florida expect the federal government to be partners in this. We expect leadership there, as we do in our own state, and we want to see everything done possible to mitigate, to keep from the damages as much as possible from occurring. Our travel and tourism industry is terribly affected. Our fishermen are already affected, and it's going to get worse as that oil comes ashore with us. So we want them to be meeting with us. We want to have complete coordination. In some areas we have a better relationship with BP than we do with the federal government. That's not right. BP's not our friend in this overall, but they've been in some ways more cooperative than the federal government. And that's
Attorney General, what do you think of the fact that the BP has been left out, if not excluded, from these daily leak briefings, even though they're the ones leading the fix for the leak, or trying to?
Well, I think that at the present time, we can fight over the legal issues later. We ought to be preparing for whatever might come if there is a lawsuit that's required. But right now, my office has been working with BP on claims processing. We've got lots of people who already are suffering damages from the loss of income, from the absence of tourists on the beaches during Memorial Day weekend in the panhandle of Florida when it was perfectly safe to be there, and no oil was there. And those claims processes are very important right now, and we're working with the BP representatives to do the best we can with it. But we also know someday we may litigate. But the most important thing is what's now. How can you pay the fishermen? How can they be assured the next mortgage payments there? BP says they're going to do that. Our job's to hold their feet to the fire, but we also need the federal government to not only partner in this, but also partner in the kind of preparation that we think is not happening for our state, in order to be able to protect as much as possible the estuaries, the wildlife, the coastline, and all of that.
All right. Attorney General, very good seeing you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good to see you too.